What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. We are in episode 77.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah. Hey, look, my name's Jared. Denzel's my co-host, man. And we got a number 77 from what I've been told. Matter of fact, we got several of them. So I'm
We
looking
got
forward to hearing some of these names.
we got several 77s. I forgot that 77 was this popular of a number. I mean, double sevens, lucky number seven. I like it.
Yeah.
So let me run it. Let me run down the list for you. So last week we talked about your ice skating journey. I think we had a
Yeah.
hockey player, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know this
PK.
name, but this name was big to me back in my day. Paul Coffey of the Detroit Red Wings. Hockey. I'm
Go
repping
ahead.
Detroit today. Um, then we got one of the tallest players to ever play the game, George Mirasan.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what number was Sean Bradley? Because I feel like Sean Bradley was in the 70s. Did we skip
He
Sean
was in the
Bradley?
70s. He was in the 70s somewhere. You see
And,
how
so,
little we
and
care
somehow we
about that
missed him.
purposely.
We got it. A baseball all-star, Tony Batista. For the baseball fans, we got a few out there. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that name might ring a bell. We got a bunch of European players. I ain't even going to go down the list, but I am going to jump to one in particular.
Who you got?
Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
I like Luka. I like George Mirasan. I like my Red Wings, man. I like Paul Coffey. I used to play with him on the game.
You know, I would love to throw it to him, Paul, but I'm not going to, man. It's got to be Luca, man.
It's got to be Luka.
Yeah, man. I'd rather give it to your Texan brethren than to your Detroit brethren.
Shout out to Dallas. Dallas up the road, man.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with Luca. You know, that's a
But
nice
yo,
modern representation.
going through the list, this was like a list of 20, and at least 7 were European basketball players, NBA players throughout the history.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about 77, but 77 is big when it comes to the Euro players, man. They got it on lock.
You feel like it's lucky, I guess, man. You know, it ain't been
Yeah.
that lucky for him.
All right, so we're going with Luka. It's the
We go with
Luka
Luca.
episode.
Yeah, we go with Luca.
All
I'm good
right,
with
shout
that.
out to the Dallas Mavericks. Shout out to Mark Cuban, Jamal Mashburn.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of, man, while we on the sports topic, I see you brought your hat out, man. We're not gonna
I
skim
did.
past it. You know what I mean?
I
Like
did.
you've been. I know you probably done owned that hat for years, but now all of a sudden you come out bold with it. You know what I'm saying? And just plaster it on the show.
Yeah, this hat is old. This hat has been around for several years. I've worn it in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Proudly. I have.
Okay.
I have.
You
And I
stomp
am wearing
down
it
with it
on the
now,
show.
though. You
I'm
ready to go
showing
on
out
air with
today. I'm
it?
on. Hey man, we put that banner up, man. Division champions. So we got a new banner for the stadium for Ford Field. So
Yeah,
I'm liking it. I'm liking the new decor.
man. All right, y'all got it, man. You know, I give you a little nod to you, man. A little salute to the Lions and whatnot, man, for a good season, man. We'll see how it work out for you for the remainder, though, man. When the
Yeah,
playoffs hit, man.
we'll see what happens. Can we get a playoff win? That would be nice if we can get a playoff win. We need a dub.
Oh, that's all you looking for. You ain't even looking to go deep. You just like, can we just advance? That's all you want.
Can we get a win and like making the playoffs? Hey, every win every Sunday was my Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
making it to the playoffs, I'm good. But now, can we just get a playoff win? Just is that too much to ask? I feel like I'm asking too much.
You
I feel like
might
I'm
be,
asking
man.
too much.
I
Can
think
we?
you are.
Can
You
we
need to be satisfied with this successful season without Barry Sanders on the team. That's what you need to be
without
happy about.
Megatron, without Barry Sanders, we made the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Good for y'all, man.
Shout
But
out to
hey,
the
look, man. Let's
even though we
dive let's
got
dive
robbed
into
last
these
week
sticks, man. Nah, y'all ain't get robbed.
by another Dallas team, not the Mavericks, but another Dallas team. We got robbed. We got
You
robbed.
ain't get robbed, man. Stop with that, man. So, man, go ahead with that, man. Everything was fair. Hey, look, man. This week
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go into the stars of the cigar of the show, which are the cigars themselves.
Yes,
I'll go ahead and
sir.
introduce mine first. I will be smoking Plasencia 151 Cosecha, and it
All right.
actually focused this week. Look at here. I
Yeah.
be doggone. So anyway, let's give you a little bit of specs on this. I got a Honduran wrapper. I got a binder and filler that's both from Honduras. Of course, colors Maduro and country of origin Honduras. So this is Honduran through and through.
I
So
like it. I
this is
like
what
it.
I'll be smoking this week. I'm gonna go ahead and get this off, and I'm gonna be doing a straight cut on it.
Straight cut. Man, I
Straight
need to
cut.
find my punch. Where did I put my punch? Because going straight cut every week is getting old. I need my punch back. I want to go with my punch again. It's been a while.
I need my V. That's what I can't find around here. I miss that.
Yeah,
Matter of
that
fact,
V is nice. That V is nice. Hey, so look, man. Um,
nope,
my band
that
is
ain't it.
not as gorgeous as your band that you got on that side, but the name is gorgeous. I love
Okay.
this name. And I'm very interested in this smoke because I've never smoked this cigar from this brand before. We've always kept it in a realm when it comes to this name. I have an Oliva. I have an Oliva. We've done the G, we've done the O, we've done the V, we've done the Melanio, all of that. But now I have the namesake of Oliva, Gilberto Senior. So we have
Ha.
Gilberto Oliva Reserve. So let me see if we can see that band a little bit. Maybe not as much as yours, but got a little bit of focus there. A little bit of focus.
It's that 22. You got to get a 23, baby.
Hey, that 24 though.
This coming.
Wait till I get that 24. But
This coming.
so we got a medium profile, Indonesian, Sumatra on the wrapper. So I'm expecting something interesting here. Origins Nicaraguan, binder Habano, and filler Nicaraguan. So we got the Nicaraguan, we got some Indonesian, Sumatra. It's gonna be a little mixed bag. I'm expecting something special. I
Okay.
will be I'm gonna be honest. There's few sticks I've smoked that I've set myself up to be disappointed or the potential to be disappointed. This is probably one of those that I'm looking for something special. So
I'm
I'm
with you.
hoping it doesn't disappoint. Just off the name, just off the description of all the things that it's going to be thrown at me, or at least that I'm expecting it to throw at me. I'm expecting big things. Hopefully, I'm not setting myself up to be disappointed.
I got to be honest with you. I'm expecting a whole lot from this stick. Just because Gilberto put his name, he put his personal name on it.
Put
Like,
his
you know what I
personal
mean?
name
Like,
on it.
so I expect a lot because I know what
Yeah.
he do with his own brand. You know what I'm saying? Just Oliva in general. So if he don't at least bring the one he put his name on here with it or there,
Or just a notch
it's
above.
yeah, man. It's just gonna be disappointing to hear. But I look forward to
Yeah. So let's get to it, man.
it.
Get a nice sweet smell off the pre-light here. I like it. I like it already. So
Now,
quick detail about Oliva, something I just found out today. I feel like I knew this before, but confirmed it again today. So you're smoking a Plasencia, and we talked about how Plasencia is one of those pillars. So when Oliva first came to be, and they were really getting going back in the mid '90s, I'm thinking um, Plasencia, the factories of Plasencia was where Oliva really got where they got their state. They
okay.
got going at the Plasencia factories. So that's
Placencia
where
took
they
care of them, right?
that's where they built their name. Was that again?
Placencia took care of them, man, because
They got it
Oliva's
right.
one of them ones.
One of them ones.
I know I sound bad, but I
Hmm.
actually do have my sense of smell. I'm not stuffy as I might sound, so I
That's good.
so I am able to get a little smell off of this. So the aroma I still will be able to judge it off of. Nothing special, you know what I mean? As
So
far as the
nothing
actual
so
smell
far.
of the stick before pre-light.
Okay, okay. Oh, yeah, I'm getting that Indonesian Sumatra wrapper off gate. This bad boy is spicy. Yeah, we're pretty spicy off first light, but it's a tasty spicy. It's like just a nice zest type of spice with just a little bit of leather underneath, which kind of smooths it out. Nice oiliness on the wrapper. It's not an overpowering spice. It's a good spice. Bold, but not overpowering. Kind of like just a nice little zest that it has going on here. But you can definitely tell it has that Indonesian Sumatra wrapper. So that's exactly what I was expecting. It kind of hit me off that first go. Aroma's pretty nice. Not too bold on the aroma. The aroma is nice and easy going there.
Yeah. This is very the aroma. I just commented on the aroma, but the aroma once you actually light it, kind of intense, but very nice, very nice. You know, right off the bat.
Sounds like that's in pure Plasencia fashion, man. I mean, other than like maybe Cohiba, I think Cohiba and Plasencia are probably the two top ones when it comes to aroma.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, that's nice. That is nice.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna let mine burn a little bit. That spice is kind of taking me. I'm not gonna lie. It's kicking up. It's kicking up.
I don't punk out, man. You did that last week, man.
Hey, look. I was gonna put the cedar on it. I started with the cedar, but then as soon as I started getting that spice, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lay off the cedar, and I just went straight match. I laid off. I put the cedar down. I got started. I put the cedar down. I want to get a sense how you know what I'm saying. Gilberto is giving it to us straight on,
man. You an El Paso boy. You supposed to be able to handle a little spice, man. I don't want to hear that, man. You punking out. You know Gilberto is gonna give you some spice.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, this bad boy is spicy.
You punked out. You can't handle it. Come on, man. You sweating, man. This is a cigar, man. This ain't no tamale.
You know what I'm saying? You get that spice, put a little bit of sweat on your brow. Eyebrows start sweating. Forehead starts sweating. All right, let's see where it go. Yeah, man.
Yeah. You know, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I hate to say this right off the bat, but man, since you really do know how to make me feel like a rich person, man. You know, every time I start smoking, I feel rich. I feel money coming to me right now. Like, ooh, I got a big deal that's coming this week. I can feel it.
You feel like you in that Rolls right now, smoking that.
Yeah, man. I know I got a nice contract on the way this week. I can feel it. But man, speaking of this week, we've had some craziness in the news this week, man. I guess the man of 2024 is Katt Williams so far.
Kicking it off for the new year. Yeah, getting it started right. You know what I'm saying? Having everybody's eyebrows raised, like
went on Club Shay and went off on everybody. Everybody.
Yeah. Hey man, I was looking at the numbers for that. I think he did like 9 million views on YouTube alone in that first day. And I looked at it this morning. I think it was at like 22 million. And that's just YouTube alone.
Yeah.
22 million views. Got to be the most viewed interview like of all time. It's got to be.
Yeah. Yeah, they went off. You know, that, like you said, that's just YouTube. I learned about it on TikTok. My algorithm just started going haywire, just nothing but videos. And I
everything, cat, yeah.
Katt, and I couldn't stop watching them. You know what I mean? Like, and not for the messiness of it, because I'm not
Mhm.
really a messy dude necessarily, so that don't interest me from that perspective. But what what drew me in was Katt's believability, and what I mean by that is I think that even if Katt doesn't have the story all the way together, I believe
Mhm.
Katt believes his side of the story. It's
Yeah,
his truth, whether
it is
it's
true.
true or not. It's his truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and that is part of what got me invested in listening to the whole story of it as he was going through. And I'm not one of those people that's like this big conspiracy theory guy as far as what the industry is like. When people start talking about um people selling their souls and stuff like that, you know, I'm not a believer in that per se. You know, maybe I look at that as a metaphor when people say they sold their soul, not
Right,
as literal.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
they didn't go into a room and do like a seance or something like that,
yeah,
and read these lines on the book, a little magic spell and whatnot.
I'm not a
Yeah.
believer in that. You know what I'm saying? The fantastical stuff of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But from the perspective of you did something that you knew went against what your morals were.
Yeah.
That's where I believe in it. And
Outside the realms of integrity, right?
yes, outside the realms of integrity. And it led to a conversation where I began to start hearing people talk about, Katt, and he was talking about how he had integrity. He was comparing a lot of other dudes and how they were doing things. Kevin Hart specifically,
Hmm.
how Kevin Hart was willing to go out here and do stuff to put himself in a position outside of that. And it made me get into that whole thought process of, your integrity versus actually doing what you got to do to be successful.
Yeah.
Then someone sent me a clip because, of course, it now brings back the old Monique conversation, especially coming off of Taraji P and what she was saying. People are going back into the whole Monique thing. And I saw a clip of Monique and Steve Harvey going back and forth.
Yeah.
And she's like, y'all didn't stand up for me out in public. In the background, behind the scenes, y'all quietly told me I didn't do nothing wrong. And Steve is like, Monique, we in the money game. We not into it's nothing else. This is the money game.
Money game.
And what do we do? How do we? The best thing we can do for poor people is not be poor, is what Steve said. Steve said, what I need to do is I can't put my integrity before my family who needs me.
Mm.
That puts me in
Yeah,
that
I've seen it.
whole
Yeah.
conversation of integrity versus, doing what you got to do to be successful.
And
Now,
it is.
I'll just go ahead.
I was gonna say, and it is a fine line, man. Something, and I'm saying that if you want to stand on your integrity 1,000%, by all means, be 10 toes down. But sometimes, in order to like your integrity might get you to a point to where like I want to speak out against something, or like going against your integrity, like let me just be quiet just to get through the moment, and then I'll attack it on the back end. You know, in that idea of, what I'm saying, dialing back your integrity. Not saying like just kind of just giving up and giving out, like giving it all away, but maybe holding it back. And it's a fine line between, do I do what I got to do just to get by?
Well, for me personally, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I listened to what Steve said, and I listened to what Monique said, and logically, I understood what Steve said, but I didn't feel it.
Yeah,
I didn't feel
same
it
here.
in my
Same here.
core. I didn't feel it at all because on a lesser level, I participate in that industry that they participate
Hmm.
in, and I have far less money than what they have, and
Hmm.
I still have to have my integrity intact. Where
Yeah,
I really could use one of them $3,000 checks.
yeah. You told me
I
about that
pass on
before. Yeah, you told me about that before. You said, "Hey, I had an offer for this and that, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do that role. I couldn't do
I
that
could
that
do
that
it.
speaking engagement or whatever, or voicing thing."
Yeah. Yeah. So I've stood on my integrity where relative to what I have and what I need,
Hmm.
I needed the job more than I didn't need the job,
Yeah.
but my integrity, I put it ahead of that. because I don't stand for that message. So I'm not gonna go put that message out there. So for me, I hear that and I say, if you ain't willing to stand on your integrity, I can't trust nothing you ever say. How do
True.
I know when it's the truth and when it's not the truth now?
Yeah. Well,
So
when
for
do I
me,
know that you're selling your integrity short? When do like if there was a way for us to see everybody's barometer or their gauge on their integrity, how much they're giving away or when, that'd be different. But we don't live in that. We don't live in that reality. That reality is
yeah.
not here. So
Right.
if you're willing to sell your integrity or go against your integrity on any small thing or any big thing, any on any level, when do I
Yeah.
know what your level is? Because like for some people, which you might have said, no, I can't do this because of my integrity. Some people might put a dollar sign on that and say, well, you know what? If this was 10,000, maybe I would do that versus
Yeah.
3,000. Or if this was 100,000, maybe I would do that for 100,000, but I wouldn't do that for 100,000. I'll do that for 1,000,000, but I wouldn't do that for 100,000. So our gauge on what our integrity level is saying we don't know when somebody's integrity is going to kick in because we've seen people do worse for less. Some
Yeah.
people will sell their
Yeah.
integrity for $100.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Like you
saying?
say, everybody's got a line. And I don't want to sit here and act like Mr. Honorable, like, because I'm sure I got a line too.
Hmm.
But I'm just saying, relative to where I am in life versus where Steve is in life,
Yeah,
he's in a position where you made enough millions. I don't know what you did with your money, but you've
yeah,
made enough throughout the course of your career where you should be able to stand on your integrity at a
you should
point.
be. Yeah, at this point, yeah, maybe.
Yes.
And then also say you did stand on your integrity before, have a change of heart, and now you go and lobby against it. So your advice to somebody else shouldn't be, hey, go against your integrity. It should be, hey, do what you got to do. I got your back because I got the
Yeah.
resources and I'm put in the position to where me and my circle and those around me, you ain't got to do that no more.
There
We
you
don't, we
go.
don't have to, like you say, like the worst thing you can do for poor people is to be poor and be one of them. Okay, well, you're not that anymore. You've gone
Exactly.
past that now. So now your message should be different. It's like, hey, look, I made it out. I might have done what I had to do. So you don't have to. And you don't
Yeah.
have to. Now we can start ownership. Now we can go and do it our way.
Facts. Look, get this, man. Get this, right? So for Steve's instance, Steve say, I got a family and I got to take care of my family. It's like, brother, you do realize when you say that, you basically giving the middle finger to my family and everybody that's coming after you
Hmm.
that needed you to stand on something to make life better for the next person after. But
Yeah.
instead, you protected yours and you didn't make life better for those that's coming after you, which was Monique's point. Like, if I take this amount of money, then the actress and the lady that comes after me, she's gonna have to take less because I'm here and she's here. So I'm
Yeah.
setting a standard
You
that's
you
gonna
yeah,
mess
yeah,
everybody
you're
after
pushing that
me up.
standard down. Yeah,
You're
true.
pushing it down. So she stood on some morals that may not have benefited her family, but it benefited every black woman to come after her. That's
Yeah.
integrity. But for you to be like, my family needs me as a multimillionaire, or and
You're not saying that from the gutter. You're not
you're
speaking
not
that
saying
message
it from the
from the gutter.
gutter. You're not speaking it from the gutter. Look, from the gutter, I talked to you about this one too. I just named a random number when I said $3,000, but
Hmm.
I've had a situation where I've been sent from my agent an audition for a six-figure job that I didn't respond to. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, and because I didn't believe in what it was, as far as this is gonna mess the whole industry up. It was an
Yeah.
AI job. You selling your whole
Mm.
likeness. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
I did. I was like, nah, I'll make, 100 some grand off of it, some odd number, maybe 130 grand off of it. But this forever messes up the industry for all of us afterwards. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
we all
Yeah.
take this
Yeah. Yeah.
job, like we're
Yeah,
all
if everybody gives into that, then guess what? I don't need you anymore because I have your likeness. So
we're
now
destroying the
you took
industry.
that deal. Now I don't need anybody because you took that one time
Right.
deal. You know, it's
Yeah.
like those
Like,
people who get paid that one time, like say like a Jason Weaver. I don't know if you heard the interview with he talked about what his mom didn't say. Nah, They were offered $1 million
Lion
for
King.
the Lion King joint, but they're like, no,
Yeah,
no, 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 no. We're gonna turn down the money because guess what? After I take that, I'm not going to see anything else after that. Now I
yeah,
can continue to eat because I want this other deal. So by you doing that, it's like saying, hey, look, now us as a group, we need to make sure that us in this industry that we can continue to get paid and get work and continue to grow this industry individually for ourselves than just to
yeah.
sell everything, sell our likeness. And then guess what? Now that messes up the whole industry for everybody. If we all start going, hey, this guy went with it, this guy went with it. So now that's the expectation. So
Right,
now you're
right.
throwing everybody into the expectation of this is what you need to do to get by. You want this check, you better give up your likeness. That's it.
Yeah.
No other
And
deals
don't get
after
me
that.
wrong. I'm sure there's a bunch of people from the agency that took it, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. I didn't even send nothing off for it. I didn't try for it because I'm like, that's
Can't
bad.
do
That's
that.
bad for everything. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Could $130,000 change my family's life in one
absolutely.
lump sum? Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. But I just my big picture, it looked like a bad idea. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's maybe it was a bad idea not to take it, but I didn't take it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
my point. So for
But
Steve to
the
sit
thing
there
is
and
like,
say that, it's like
and I think
you're
that's what
not.
happened with. So what again?
Go ahead. I was just saying for Steve to say that, that's selfish. Like, it's
Yeah,
selfish. It's this. It's you're thinking about
yeah,
your circle this big and not everybody. Like,
yeah. And I heard Kevin Hart speak on something about Cat Williams, and like it was along the times of them having their beef, and I think it was at its peak or whatever. And Kevin was dissing Cat because, hey, well, you feel this way because you were on top and you had the game and it was yours for the taking, but you turned down this and you turned down that and you turned down this. But and then now people look at him crazy. Well, because now you're saying this because Kevin's on top, you're on the bottom, or not necessarily on the bottom,
yeah,
but you're not doing what Kevin's doing but he's still on his integrity. So now when he was saying in the interview that he's rich because of what he did for himself more so. And it's not necessarily
yeah,
about the dollar amount or the work that you take or don't take. It's about what you have up there and in your heart. And that's what he decided to do. That's where he decided to put his riches, his value and his riches in that
yeah,
integrity. So a lot of people look at him like he was crazy when he was saying a lot of things he was saying back in the day without actually taking the time to listen to what he was saying. And now finally everybody's taking time to listen to what he was saying. Now,
right,
be it 100% right or not, I'm pretty sure there's some pieces where he got the information wrong or he's just speaking
yeah,
emotionally on some things. But on the macro level, hey, he stood on what was right for him,
right,
and there's nothing
right,
wrong with that. And he might not be in a position where Kevin Hart has gone, and we know that Kevin Hart's gone through the stratosphere. We know Steve Harvey's gone through the stratosphere, and he might not be on those stages on those levels of notoriety, universally. But he still did what he had to do and he is who he is in his own right. And now he's seeing the residual of it now. And sometimes it takes that. Sometimes it takes, hey, let me take a step back, and this might be something that'll live forever. That'll put him back. Because now
yeah,
I'm seeing all his old stand up come back. I'm seeing all the shows that he did come back, and his movie clips come back, and like, yo, Katt is on one. He was that guy, and he was that guy. You
yeah.
think
He
about
was.
early
It's easy to
2000s,
look
like
at him like he ain't now, but he was. Like, we all
he was
remember it
that
if he
guy.
was there.
So
Like,
yeah, but now it's like, okay, I take that back seat, let things play out. Now let me show you. And now everybody's bringing back all those things from 20 years ago and like, yo, Katt was on one. And now he's living longer. He will live longer in retrospect by not and holding on to his integrity than if he would have sold his soul or, what I'm saying, gave into
yeah,
the allure of whatever.
yeah, definitely. Hey, and the fact that the interview went to the stratosphere like it did lets you know that he was that guy. You know what I mean? Because if he
Yeah,
wasn't that guy, we wouldn't care. I don't care how much stuff he had to say; it wouldn't have
yeah.
mattered
I
if
mean,
it
because
wasn't
like
coming from
for
somebody
me,
we cared about hearing it from. Like,
yeah, for me, when I saw that there was going to be an interview, oh, Cat Williams on an interview with Club Shay Shay. This is before it blew up. This was before it even came out, right? Like, oh, and it's going to be released on this day. I wanted to watch it on the day it came out. Before it had 1 million views, I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit down and watch Cat. I almost watched the whole 3 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes of the show before I knew how big it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't one of those ones who caught it on the back end, like, yo, did you hear it? And then let me go tune in. I was on the front
Yeah,
end because I knew who Katt was. I liked Katt back in the day. You know, still like what he's doing now. Matter of fact, he had a special he did recently. I watched it. Every time Katt has done a show, I liked his brand of comedy. I went to go see him live before, back in when he came to Greensboro a couple times. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I've liked Katt, and it's good to see him coming back and getting that run and getting that attention. Albeit he came out guns a blazing
Guns
going.
blazing.
Yeah,
But this is the thing though. This is
but it's
also
always been
us
him.
as people. Cat, all the stuff he said, attacking people. That's the stuff that's in the forefront of everybody's videos and responses and everybody's clips. But he was complimentary of a lot of people too. He defended a lot of
Oh,
people. But
yeah.
those clips didn't get blown up like all the other stuff when he was. Those are the ones that went to the moon. But everything else,
Mhm.
it just wasn't full of nothing but attacks on people either. You know what I mean? But
No, it was some good talk, some good information that he gave, and good character, um, a good character lens, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
I I, I, I like that. You know, you got to
Let me ask you
see
this.
who he was and what he's done. Yeah.
As you as somebody now, Cat, you like Cat, and you also are a supporter of the other people that he was taking some
Oh
shots
yeah,
at.
all of
Was
them.
it a
Pretty
weird
much all
place
of them.
for you? That's what I'm saying. Was it a weird place, kind of listening? Like,
No,
did you
no,
ever
no,
feel at any point like, I take a side to this person, or was it just
no.
like, because somebody asked
Well,
me about it, and I was like, well, I like everybody he attacked, and I like him, so I didn't.
yeah,
I was in
I
the.
like
I
Cedric
just took it to
Entertainment.
entertainment.
I like
I didn't
Steve Harvey.
even take
Yeah,
sides. Like,
no, no, no. I mean, because for one, we don't come from that cloth anyway. You know, that's their thing that they got going on. That's the way Cat feels. And
mhm.
being a man of my own, whatever you feel about somebody has nothing to do with how I feel about it. That's
Right,
y'all
right.
interaction. That's what y'all had going on. You know what I'm saying? We everybody talked about the Steve Harvey and the toupee joint. That's been something that's in the it's been in the news before. We've heard that. That's passe. We heard about
Yeah,
some of the jokes that, so a lot of the information wasn't new news to me. It was
yeah.
just Cat going off because the Cat's been saying a lot of these things for
For
years.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still listen to Steve Harvey's morning show pretty much every morning. I like Steve. I used to watch the show back in the day, watch the Apollo, I watched his stand-up specials. You know what I'm saying? I roll with Steve. And not so much Ricky Smiley. I think you might listen to Ricky Smiley probably more than I do.
Well,
Um,
he's out here in Atlanta in the morning,
Atlanta,
so
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like Ricky Smiley probably the least of them, but I like all of them. I like Kevin Hart. I watch Kevin Hart specials. I seen him coming up before he actually blew up. I went to go see a show when it came to Fayetteville when he was like a nothing. Anthony Anderson was bigger than him on the stand up stage more so than Cat. You know what I'm saying? He was
And
on
you a good
one
one
of them
for that
shows for
though.
him.
You
Say
a good
what?
one for that. You a good one for that. Cause I ain't gonna lie, Kevin was not funny to me from about 2003 to about 2010.
And
It
yeah.
just, yeah,
No, well,
it
some of
took
the
him a
stuff that he
while to
blew
get
up
funny
off
for me.
was like '07, I think it was. That I went to go see a show. And I actually enjoyed it. I liked it. You know, he was standing out, meeting people, meet and greet. You know what I'm saying? I met him for a quick second, say what's up, because you wasn't nobody back then. So they always would had a little meet and greet after the comedy shows. And it's like, cool guy. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think I was big on soul playing before then or whatever, but it was like, all right, you
yeah,
know. And we I think you and me both. We do like those, you know what I'm saying, comedians, and we like the Dave Chappelle's. We talked about it, Chris Rock and all those guys. We got our favorites and stuff like that.
yeah,
I think I like all of them to a degree. So it's not like I'm gonna side with one person over another. I
yeah,
mean, if that's the way they want to go about their business and come up, as long as you're giving me good entertainment, you know, it's different from, I guess, the rap game or whatever, if you want to call it that. But it's entertainment. Do you have what it takes to entertain me? And if it's a yes, whether you're a Chris Rock or whether you're Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart, if you drop something good and worth watching, I'm gonna give you your nod. If you're Mark Curry and you drop something good that's worth watching, Sinbad, whoever, I've always been a
yeah.
fan of it all. I like the art of it.
My man said Sinbad. Boy, you went
I had to
there.
throw out a name that wasn't talked about. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
give Sinbad his flowers, man.
I thought you was naming people from the actual tirade the cat went on. You said
No, yeah,
Sinbad.
yeah.
I thought
But
you was gonna say
I just had to
Faison Love
throw,
or somebody, but you said Sinbad instead.
and I like Faison Love too, man. I like them in the Parenthood. I like them in
Yeah,
Friday. I like them in Money Talks. You know?
yeah. That's what it is, man. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting conversation, man. You know, the whole point of view of your integrity versus doing what you got to do to succeed. And logically, my brain gets doing what you got to do to succeed, but I'm less
Yeah, we get it.
wired for it. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah,
understand it.
we get it, but we understand that, hey, look, we're only gonna do but so much. We understand what integrity is, and you gotta go to sleep with yourself every night. And I'm not in the in the frame of mind of not being able to live with myself to make a decision just to go be whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
we've all had tough times, especially in our younger 20s. Could have went and sold drugs, right? Could have did those things were available to us in an instant if we wanted to go do that. But some of these things we didn't do because of integrity, right? We could have been
yeah,
thieves. We could have turned to a lesser form of coming up, but we didn't do those things because of integrity. You know, I knew
right,
drug dealers. I knew people who did this and that, but I wasn't going to go that route because of integrity.
yeah,
You know, so like that's just on our level. That's not on the entertainment level. That's more so on our level. And if I'm strong in who I am in those realms, something that's right at your front door, right outside your doorstep, you know,
right.
that's who we are. So real quick, man, do we got anything for the halfway point?
Um, I mean, I can just give overall thoughts. Overall, for me, I have been enjoying my ride. A little bit of cedar, a little bit of a nuttiness in there.
Mhm.
I don't want to. I can't put a specific nut on it right now, but
Pause.
pause. And some subtle spice on the back end. Great aroma. It's got a nice smooth draw.
Mhm.
Everything's going well. Everything's going well, man.
Okay.
I'm in the back of the bike and I'm chilling, man. You know what I mean?
Nice. Nice. Oh, Gilberto. That spice is smoothed out nicely. It's doing exactly what I expected to do to this point. Look at that burn. Look at that. Look at that ash.
It's a
Nice
nice, pretty ash.
construction. Good burn. You know, I'm notorious with the bad burns, and I got a good one right here. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
brag on this real quick.
That's nice. That's a pretty
Yeah,
burn you got, man.
and
You
it and
made
it's
me wish I
smoothed
didn't
up,
dump
man.
mine. I was scared it was gonna go on my lap, so I went on and dumped it. But you a
Which
good
is
one
happy.
though.
Yeah, I'm holding on to it as long as I can because I like it, man. This is a good one. But that spice is smoothed out and it's giving me that ride. I'm gonna go into a little bit more once we get to the final review, but so far so good. Kind of scared me in the beginning, but we riding high now,
Yeah,
man. We riding high.
I was nervous for you.
Hey, so real quick, man, to kind of expand on this integrity talk. I had something that that was grinding my gears a little earlier this week too. And it's kind of in balance with a topic that we talked about a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
And we talked about how, saying losing faith in the youth as far as their willingness to listen and hear us where we are as we try to bring them up too, right?
Mhm.
And I've seen some instances of some older heads playing to the young generation, right? And we get that. We
Right.
get that you have to have some kind of relatability to the younger generation in order just to catch their ear, catch their attention. It has to be done to a degree. But to me, at what point does that integrity kind of kick in and say, me as an old head, I got to be an old head. I got to be strong in who I am and what I believe in and what I do and how I conduct myself. And how much do I sell myself just to catch the attention of the youth, right? Because you get to a point of just looking weird when you're at a certain age and you try to play to the youth too much. And we've come from an era of our old heads were old heads, our OGs were OGs, and you get that you weren't them, but they were going to be them. They were going to do what they did, and you knew eventually you're going to grow to who they are and what they. You might not get it, understand what they're doing, But you understand, okay, that's me when I'm 50, 60. I'm gonna grow to that. So let me just walk my path and listen to them whenever they speak and give me those nuggets of knowledge and wisdom. You might not do everything they say, but it's gonna be in the back of your mind, right? But now I feel like in this generation, I'm seeing a lot of older gentlemen, women too, who play to the youth a little bit too much to where now it's looking weird. It's looking weird. So to go in a little bit more detail for you. So there's a church in Atlanta. A pastor's name is William Murphy. He's a gospel singer too. And I think it was for New Year's. You know, in his church kind of turned into a club. It was looking real clubbish. And it was sounding real clubbish. You know, he was up there, had a DJ going. They was playing the Walk It Out and what's the joint where you do the swag surf? Yeah, doing all the swag surf. And it's like, okay, I get it. You want to catch the attention of the youth. You want to make things fun. You want to make things, you know what I'm saying, just a little bit more lighthearted. But at the same time, it's looking and feeling a little weird to me. You know, because I feel like you're playing too much to what the youth could want or what you think they might want, instead of just setting a standard and just being firm on who you are and saying this is a standard of ours and we're not going to go but so much into your realm to bring you where I'm at. And I think it was just too much of that.
You know what I think? I think this is all just residuals of the hip hop generation. Is what I think. I think so. Because it's a fine line before and after hip hop. You know what I mean? Like in our culture, before versus after, people behave differently. So you're talking about the OGs that we grew up with. Those are the people before hip hop. You know what I mean? So the ones after, they have an identity crisis where they still think they from that hip hop cloth. You know what I mean? You got to think the people before hip hop, they didn't have a culture to imitate that was of the youth. They just were themselves. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
When they grew to a certain age and became the OGs, we were all doing hip hop. They didn't care about what the youth was doing. They was just on their own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you had a couple of them that still wanted to hold on to their youth and try to do what the young kids were, but it was the minority of people. So now we're in a time after hip hop has been created. You got all these people stuck in their youth, still trying to be what they were and still trying to follow that hip hop culture. And now you got social media on top of it, which let everybody in the world know what's going on. And the combination of the two got people holding on to a youth that they should be relinquishing and letting the actual youth run with the torch.
You have it. Let the youth have that.
Yeah. Because, like, I remember, like, you would see, I remember being in my 20s and seeing different people that would still be wearing, like, Jordans and dresses. Gotcha. I caught it. I hope everybody caught it right there. I hope everybody caught it. Rewind it back 10 seconds. If you're on YouTube, tap it twice like that and make the screen go back 10 seconds and watch Denzel's side. But anyway, yeah, you would see like dudes in their 30s and 40s and like Jordans and still like baggy clothes and stuff like that. And people would be like, oh, they still trying to be cool. And I would always be like, no, they're not trying to be cool. They just stuck in the last era they were cool in.
The era,
which was that era. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people run into that problem. Whatever they last era they were cool in, they never let go of that era and move on, or either just go backwards into old man swag. Like
in this particular pastor's defense, swag surfing ain't new. Swag surfing is what, 15 years old? Walking out like 15 years old, so it's
probably his era.
It's not new. Probably. Now, if he was doing a little, if they was in the joint doing a little Uzi,
yeah. Yeah. I don't know why you know that either, by the way. I didn't know you knew that, but
I got kids, man. Come on.
okay.
They keep me abreast to what's going on.
I got you.
You know, saying the Brent Fayez and all that stuff. I know about it. But
Hey, Brent's on your playlist, man. Don't play with me, man.
now he is by request of
I
my
know.
son. He makes sure, hey, Dad, put this on the playlist. All right, I got you. I got
Okay.
you. But you make a really good point though, because if you go back to say my dad's era, even our era, growing up, we had grown entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Even though hip hop was for the youth when we came up in the golden era of hip hop, if you say, it was still adult material more so than young. We had Criss Cross, we had that, we had the young singers, but even when our young singers, they were singing up. Our Tevin Campbells were singing up. You know, they were singing Usher. He was singing up.
Yeah.
They weren't singing down in generation.
Yeah.
So you had kids who were making grown material. Brandy, Monica, 14 years old, singing adult songs.
Yeah.
So us as youth, we were imitating the adults because our entertainment was adult material. When my pops was growing up, he had the Teddy P's and the Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and the Marvin Gaye and the Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder. Your entertainment was working up in maturity. Now our entertainment is working the other way.
Yeah.
Towards the youth immaturity. So now it's like if you hold on to certain things, so as our parents were aging, and even as we age, some of the material that we held on to that was our entertainment, we just grew into it more so.
Right.
So now you have the entertainment now you're growing out of it from jump. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you turn 25, you done aged out of the material you listen to by the time you're 25. You know what I'm saying? So that could be a good point of it too. Like just the way the culture is going and the maturity level of the entertainment that we've received. And if you stuck in your ways and you haven't grown out of your era, and now especially now as things are tending to the youth more, you're gonna look silly if you hold on to it and don't mature the content that you seek for.
Right. And now that's interesting how you say that they were making material up. So that makes me think, why are people suddenly making material down versus up? And I think it's got to do with the fact that the way that material is now consumed is technology is how it's consumed, and the people who are most technologically proficient are the youth. So you make stuff to feed them. Like
because in order to consume entertainment back in the day, you had to be of a certain age, especially if it had that little parental advisory sticker on it.
Yeah, you had to have a car, and you had to be able to drive, and you had to have money.
You had to have money, you had to have a car. That's the only way that you can get that record, that CD, or that tape. Or you knew somebody, or whoever was handing it down was somebody older who you were getting it from.
Yeah.
You were getting your entertainment. You were getting your VHSs from somebody who was older. Your big brother.
You had to have a license with an ID on it that said you were of a certain age in order to buy it, and not just log in under a Google account that says your birthday is over 21 years old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with no way of proving
my daughter, I guarantee you, they have their accounts as they're 18. Just so they can access all the information, all the material that's out there.
Yeah,
Netflix
which
account.
is very irresponsible of Google and all these places. Very irresponsible. All you gotta do is just lie on your date of birth. You ain't gotta prove it or nothing. Like, and now you gotta access all the
picture, ID, no verification.
Yeah, and look at it. You know, you want to go into other aspects of making children grow up too fast. How, in order to get that little nasty VHS tape, you had to go into the back room at the you know,
with the curtain.
You had to go to the back room with the curtain to get your stuff, and they would have never let you rent that stuff out back in the day. But now you just got your phone. And
the magazines on the top back shelf.
Where you couldn't get to, and grown up had to give it to you.
Or it would have the dark plastic, the dark cellophane on the front.
Yeah. Now if you want to see all that stuff, all you got to do is say, enter, over 18, enter. Just go.
Are you over 18? Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Today.
Today I am.
Why, yes. Why, yes, I am over 18.
Different world, man. Like,
Yeah, man.
and
Because I used to go get my magazines. I used to read the X-Men magazines, or I used to go check out the Slam magazines, or the Word Up, or the
mhm.
what's the other ones? You know, the hip hop joints,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Benzino
yeah.
joints,
So
all
the
that stuff.
source, the
The
source.
Source,
How
and
you
they be
forget
on
the
that
source,
level
bro?
right there. Chill, chill. Don't blame me. All right. I'm trying to act like I'm youthful. Like I don't remember that type of stuff.
I know you trying to play me like the old head.
But you go read your Marvel comics, but then you reading the comic, you look up
Yeah,
there and you say, but I can't get those.
yeah.
That
Can't
was
get
your only
them.
way, man. Or your HBO, you if you couldn't get it, you couldn't get it. But now you
Yeah,
got access to everything. But yeah, man. But like we are working down, and just taking it back to that integrity. When does integrity kick in to say I have to be firm in who I am, especially as an old head, and say I am not going to come down too much, just like parents who want to be friends with their kids, and I'm going to be the fun parent, the friend. I want to be youthful with my kid instead of just being the adult and
yeah,
understanding. Hey, look, that they might not get what I'm giving them right now, but I still have to plant these seeds and show them what an adult looks like, what this looks like, what tradition looks like. Because now if we stop doing it, we're gonna lose it, and we're gonna lose it forever. We're gonna lose tradition forever. If we
yeah,
continue to just play to the youth. Now, there's some there's some that you can do it. Some ways that you can have that relatability. We understand it is important, but at the same time, but there's only but so much you should go into that threshold, past that threshold.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you
A
have to
balance
put
is
the pressure
necessary
on the
with
youth to come
everything.
up. Say what?
I said balance is necessary with everything,
Hmm.
especially
Hmm.
something like that.
Yeah, we got to force it. We have to force our youth up. We can't always
Yeah,
come down past that threshold to meet them there. Sometimes we have to force them to come up to our level, because the only way they're going to get there eventually, because they're going to be 25 one day, and they never had been forced to get to a certain level of maturity, even in their youth, to even know what it looks like and what it feels like to be mature at a certain level.
right, right. Agreed. Message. Hey man, let's do these reviews, man.
All right, man. Hey, look, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first because I have a lot to say about this. So, last episode, last cigar I smoked was not happy. Was not a happy camper. Not a happy camper. I said I was going to give a post review. The cigar did not even make it to the post review. Like I could not handle that cigar anymore. It was just it just wasn't giving good vibes for me. So night and day from that cigar to this cigar. Oliva, Oliva, top notch, man. Oliva showed me today why they are one of my favorite brands and why they are solidified in my personal top five. Off the namesake, the Gilberto Oliva Reserve. It started out scary. I was like, man, this is gonna be tough. I'm not gonna be able to handle this. But I'm telling you, with the expectation I had that it was gonna give me some flow, some ebb and flow of some definitely some great notes, some changes, some twists and turns. It definitely lived up to that. And we see where we are, getting into that second third, halfway through the second third, just about. Held on to that burn really well until I dropped my ash. So well constructed. Aroma was nice. Profile was nice and rich. Even though the meters are kind of in the middle, it was a rich profile. It didn't stay spicy throughout. Once I got maybe halfway through that first third, it dialed back. We got those other notes. We got some oak, some nice strong oak earthiness. We got a hint of cocoa, a little bit of sweet. That sweet definitely came in, and that went into the atmosphere with the aroma, and it really lightened the cigar and made the cigar feel a little airy after a while. And I love that airy feel and that airy aroma that kind of just it's just inviting and just makes you feel good. So it's a good feel stick. Once you get past that spice, and if you like spice, you like that zest, it's gonna be good for you. It's gonna be good for your palate. And then once it dials back, It's going to be just a nice ride, and it's just going to give you some good turns. Like, ooh, I like this. It's going to take you up and bring you down, and I definitely say it was well worth the experience. So to rate this bad boy out of 5, Oliva give you a nice strong 4.6. A strong 4.6. I'm telling you, it hit me everywhere I wanted to be hit, right? It gave me that spice, and we like that spice. I like the fact that it didn't last long, and it came back in perfect timing. The spice dialed back in perfect timing. And then the sweetness came in, the nice leather kind of just rolled as an undertone throughout, and it gave me that oak, that cocoa, a little bit of sweetness. And it hit me kind of like a Plasencia, but just a little bit more bold in a lot of those changes, but EQ'd perfectly. Like things kind of flowed the way that I wanted it to flow. So that's why I have to give it a 4.6. Not a perfect stick, but a well-made, well-built, enjoyable smoke. 4.6.
Ooh-wee.
Hey, it's legit.
Ooh, can I get that? Ooh, wee. Can't do it. But I want to let you know. Ah, my God, man, you made me feel a whole lot better about what I was about to say. You know what I mean? And that's off our new rating too, 4.6. So that's an honest 4.6. He probably would have
Honest
gave that a
4.6.
5 last year. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Maybe I'm saying maybe last year we got a 5, but yeah, honest
yeah.
rating on our charts that we're using. 4.6, man. 4.6.
4.6. All right, man. So look, for me, I got the Plasencia 151 Cosecha right here. That's about where I'm at in the process on it. I say this stick, Plasencia is one of our favorite brands, as always. This stick for me, from the immediate beginning of lighting it, I knew it had a great aroma, and I knew I was going to be off to a great cigar. This particular cigar. Plasencia always has a perfect way of EQing their sticks where it's just a beautiful blend. Everything's perfect. So sometimes that perfection can make it difficult to pick up on certain notes and really narrow them down to be specific. So that's why I said a nuttiness on it earlier when I described this stick. But I picked up on a nuttiness that maybe you could describe as almondy, if you try to narrow it down, but kind of hard to narrow it down to something. But it was a nuttiness that was there. It was some cedar that I picked up on, some subtle spice on the stick that I also noticed on the retro hail. Perfection on the retro hail. It made me just want to keep doing retro hails because it was such a nice, rich note that I was picking up on within it that I can't necessarily say what it was, but it was delicious. You know what I'm saying? To describe a cigar is delicious. It was delicious. The stick had an oiliness to it that was made the stick just super smooth and perfect.
I like that.
The perfect amount of oiliness to it. This stick had great construction to it. At no point did I ever have to relight it, pick it up. Everything burned nice and even throughout it the entire time. I didn't even have to continue to draw off of it. This stick just burned perfect. Medium to full body, nice full, medium to full body smoke that was coming off of it. Great aroma once again off the smoke. The draw was perfect. Everything was great about this cigar. I'm going to go ahead and give this from 1 to 5. I'm going to give this a 4.3. And I feel nice and confident about that, and without going too far over, because this isn't my favorite one cigar from Plasencia, but it's fantastic like the rest of the smokes that I get from Plasencia. So 4.3 is my final score for this.
4.3. That's solid. I mean, especially with that one, if you have to rate it against other Plasencias, so that's a great score for a stick anyway.
Yeah.
But I think that 4.3 also comes off of rating against other Plasencias.
Yeah, because I gotta leave some room because I know there's other ones this greater, but this is great. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and there's levels to greatness,
Yeah. I'm with you on
But
that.
you won't be disappointed in this stick ever.
Got you on
8
that.
days out of 7, you won't be disappointed in this stick. You know what I mean? It's like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shout out to Plasencia. Hey man, and real quick before we go, it finally hit me when I said the that zestiness, that spice, and then it dialed back into like that oak and then some sweet.
Mm-hmm.
A ginger snap. It reminded me like a ginger
Ginger
snap.
snap.
Yeah, so if you
Okay.
ever had like a ginger snap, it kind of gives you
Yeah.
that. It kind of has that little bit of ginger spice, but then a little bit
Yeah.
of sweet, and it was just like that's what that crossover kind of felt like
Right.
stepping to a ginger snap.
I don't know if I mentioned zest, but I'm just now starting to pick up a little bit of zest on this too, and I forgot to say that. If I don't think I said it, but that's
It's getting
strange.
but
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of pick up on a little zest. It's interesting you mentioned that, but yeah,
nice.
man, two great sticks today, man.
Yeah,
Luca, you did your thing.
I am happy. I'm happy. I thought I was gonna have
Yeah.
two back to back, but shout out to this one. Shout out to Oliva, man. Shout out to
Hey,
Plasencia.
and you always say that I get the better stick. You know what I mean? But the cigar angels with you today, man. You know, because I knew I was gonna come through. I had a Plasencia. You know what I'm saying? But
He was
you,
confident.
but look, I was confident in you too. But there was a little bit of me that was like, he didn't actually throw it under the actual Oliva branch, so maybe there's a
Maybe
reason
it
it
might
didn't
just
make the cut. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but it got the namesake, so
but that's what I was banking on. I'm like, he put his actual name on it, so I'm thinking he put his foot in this one. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to
and
know.
did. And did.
Yeah. Hey, real quick before we get out of
Yeah.
here, is that ranking over some of the different series, the Oliva series?
I'm gonna say yeah. You know what? I don't know what I'm gonna do
I ain't
right
gonna
now
make you
at this
say which
point.
one specifically, but
No.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put it top two.
oh,
I'm gonna put this next to
the
that
V.
V. I don't know if
Okay.
it goes over. I can't say for sure. I'm gonna have to go back to back to see if I decide see if it really does, right? But I would
Yeah.
say it touches that V, like it's on his neck, and I'm pretty sure that as I get through the rest of this stick, it might be neck and neck. It might be
Yeah.
my
Once you
second
get to
favorite to favorite.
once you start getting closer to that final third, you're gonna
Mhm.
really know what it's about. So yeah.
I'm gonna say it just edges out the third right into that second spot,
Yeah.
but it might be that second spot for sure, for sure.
Okay. It's like that. That's what it is. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
this the Luca episode, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast.
See what's up, man.
Keep them up high. We out. Come on.